because I want to push some of you through and show you exactly what I did today and how I'm feeling today on that one magic ingredient that I'm using. Oh my goodness, too much of light. Is that better? Okay, so I mean, I'm not going to wait for a few of you to come live, but I'm going to probably post this so you can hear it. So today was I've lost track, I think day 5 or 6, but I want to tell you exactly what I did today and what's happening in my body today by using that one magic ingredient. And of course, now I just call it the magic ingredient. And I think all of you should know by now that the magic ingredient that I'm talking about is allulose. And if I turn my camera around, you'll see that right now I'm researching a lot about it, and now I can give you some links as well as some people that you can hear, because I'm not going to be able to explain it very scientifically, but I think I've got the gist of it, what it's doing to my body, and how it's like a godsend for me right now. I have been stuck on with a weight loss stall for about 2 years, and nothing has broken it for me. I'm a keto low carb recipe creator. If some of you do follow me, thank you for following me. But that's what I do. And I have learned that now I need to go lessen the fat in my food, as well as I need to have medium proteins, lessen my fat, and which means I'm actually calculating my meals with how much fat I'm using in the day. And of course, I'm still eating my proteins and I'm still eating my vegetables. But today, I have been conscious about how I've been feeling from the time I woke up. And that is something I want to share with all of you. I am adamant that I would like all of you to give this a shot. This is, I have never, I never thought that this would ever happen to me. Losing my hunger completely is not something that I've ever been used to, even when I was on high fat. The greed for food, the eating little excess, the night cravings, that has never stopped. Of course, I never used to get hunger, but there used to be still greed. Allulose is a game changer for me at this point. I I cannot even begin to describe what it's doing for me, and there is no way that I'm not going to share this with all of you, because you've been following my recipes, and if you were stuck like me and the normal keto low carb is no more working for you, this is something that you must try. I have already got quite a few comments on my previous video. Today I've literally come to do a day update today of how I'm feeling since the morning. Here's what I did from this morning. Right now it's 8 p.m. at night where I am, and here is what happened in my day today. So I woke up, and the last meal I had yesterday, which is shocking, was 6 in the evening. I thought, and remember, I'm not eating high fat anymore. I thought today I would wake up with a major hunger pang. Zero hunger pang this morning when I woke up. So what I did was, I made my coffee. I put a teaspoon of heavy cream in it, which I dilute, by the way. I make a bottle of what I would call keto milk by putting a bit of heavy cream and water. And I put it into a bottle and I use it as milk. So I put a teaspoon of that and I had my coffee. Now, this afternoon, I had to go for an engagement. A friend's son was getting engaged, and I knew I'd be eating out. So I said, now, how am I going to figure out this day? So, what I did was, this was my morning coffee. I finished that. At about 12 o'clock, was it about, yeah, about 12 o'clock noon, what I did was, I made myself my lemonade. This time I actually measured the amount of allulose. So now I can tell you with, well, somewhat authority how I made my allulose, because earlier I was just dumping it in. I used 30 grams of allulose. I put a ready-made bottle of lemon juice, a few squirts, the allulose. I put water. I didn't want to put too much water today because I had a lot of travel time and I didn't want to be uncomfortable. So I made my lemonade and I drank it at about 12 o'clock. And I said, let's see what happens when I reach for a lunch. And I had to even carry on later for to someone's place for a tea. So I said, let's see what happens with the food. 12 o'clock, I had my lemonade. I drank it. I'm learning small things every day about allulose, and that's what I want to share with all of you. So after 12 o'clock, when I had it, I had to be in the car for about 1 hour before I reached where I had to be. So by the time I was 45 minutes after I got ready, I left the house at 1 o'clock. So 1 hour had passed. I left the house at 1 p.m. It took me about 45 minutes to 50 minutes to reach where I was going. So because of that, almost 2 hours had passed. I noticed very clearly after I had the lemonade, 45 minutes later, I started feeling very full. I said, this is insane. There is not even fat used to make me feel so full and repulsed towards food. That's never happened to me in my entire life. So, 45 minutes later, I was in the car. I left at about 1:15 or so, and I reached my destination at about 2 p.m. When I reached there, there were some snacks being served. There were some, little chicken, prawns being served on platters besides the main meal. I just cannot describe this to all of you. I, I felt like I could not eat food. So I forced myself to pick on a few pieces, literally 2 to 3 pieces of chicken and 1 piece of prawn, 2, 3 little, like, snack chicken and a snack prawn. I felt as though I had eaten 10 meals. I felt so full and I was completely rejecting the food. So let's go move on with the day. That was that. Then I had to reach somewhere for a tea. When I reached there, I said, oh my God, I'm not going to have dinner. Now there's no hunger signal. I'm not feeling hungry whatsoever with just 2 pieces, little pieces of chicken and 1 piece of prawn. I was feeling so stuffed. So at the tea, I forced myself again to have literally a piece and a half of a protein. And I felt like, oh my goodness, I cannot eat for the next 2 days. Now, on my return home, I am so stuffed. I said, let me have a soup. So literally, I must have consumed about 350 calories the whole day. And it feels like I've eaten 5,000 calories. Now, this process, the more I'm researching, now I know some people some experts that you must look into. One is Dr. Ben Bickman. Please look him up. He's talking a lot about allulose. Many of you might have already heard about him. The other one is Nick Norwitz. Please look him up. He's talking a lot about allulose, and he's been talking about it for, I think, the last 1 year. So I have now got the hang of this. The moment I'm having my lemonade, it is acting up my, what, like I said, I won't be able to talk scientific. It is uh, what's the word? Activating my GLP-1, which in turn is acting with my leptin in my brain, and my hunger signals have become below zero. I promise you, I've been eating keto low carb for the last 6, 7 years, and this has never ever happened to me in my entire life. I am a foodie. I love good food, and I learned how to cook and bake so that I can eat, but eat it low carb and ketogenic, and that's exactly why I became a recipe creator. But this allulose inclusion is game changing. So these are the few people that you can look up and start researching it. Now, I'm going to wait and watch whether tonight, by the time I sleep, do I need one more lemon water? Okay, here's something really, really important. When you drink your lemonade made with allulose, it's so tasty. I have noticed that it kicks in about 45 minutes to 1 hour later. Maybe it's different with different people's body. I don't know. But it takes 45 minutes and suddenly there's this gush of feeling extremely full. Please let me know in the comments if any of you are still getting motivated by me talking about this, because I've made up my mind. I'm going to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you about it till some of you get on this journey. Allulose is completely safe. It's zero on the glycemic index. It's almost 0 calories. So I mean, it has, okay. One more thing I've learned is through hearing all these experts talking, what I've learned is that anyone that has uric acid, if you get on allulose, it drops your uric acid drastically. So for people that have problems with uric acid and gout, this is another amazing addition for you to get healthy. Uh, so that's again what I wanted to say. It takes about 45 minutes to kick in. I want you to start becoming conscious about your body and how you feel when you drink the lemonade. There are many other ways. You can make it into a brownie. You can make it into anything. But according to me, this drinking of the lemonade is like literally water, lemon juice, and allulose. And I think it goes straight into your system really fast. So I've come back and I'm here to say, give it a shot, give it a shot, give it a shot. I'm not going to give up. I want all of you to be on this journey, and please do write in the comments what you are feeling. I'm here. If you want to ask me any questions, please ask me right now. I'd love to answer anything that you want to know with the little knowledge I have now about allulose. If there's anything you want to ask me, I'd love to answer it right now. Could you please tell me? Okay, hi Patricia, lovely to see you. Patricia, so the ratio for making the lemonade, yeah, sure. So you can make a big tumbler, fill it in with as much water, fill it in with as much lemon juice as you feel will be in correct ratio. Maybe like cut one lemon and squeeze it in, put a lot of water. I used 30 grams of allulose today, and 30 grams in, it was the powdered allulose. So I put that in, I stirred it, I add a pinch of salt, and that's it. You can add a few cubes of ice if you want, or just have it with cold water. And you can, according to me, you should have it in one shot, like enjoy it. Enjoy it like you would be drinking a lemonade. Don't get intimidated that, oh, should I sip it or should I drink it? Just enjoy it like you would have a lemonade. It tastes so, so good. Okay, I hope I've answered you, Patricia. Somebody's asked me, CW, thank you, Miss Varnaz. Don't call me Miss, you can just call me Varnaz. Do you have the spelling for Nick's last name? Love Dr. Bickman. Yeah. So Nick Norwitz, Norwitz, Norwitz. That's Norwitz. Yeah, that was it. Nick Norwitz. And he's quite a good resource for this particular thing. Okay. Anyone else? Any more questions? Just ask me. Ask me. I'm here. I'm dying to answer anything you want to ask me. Good morning. Names of the allulose experts to check out. I'm in Missouri. Hi, Derek. The two people that I have been listening to is Dr. Ben Bickman, Bikman, Dr. Ben Bickman, and the other one is Dr. Nick Norwitz, Norwitz. They are also being interviewed by a lot of people like Thomas DeLauer. Right now I was hearing a podcast. If I turn my camera on, you'll see that right now I am actually watching this right now. Here you go. There you go. That's Dr. Ben Bickman, and I'm bringing it close. See, insulin scientist reveals the best sweetener for reducing belly fat. I think that should answer you. I was actually listening to this right now as I'm speaking to all of you. Okay. Welcome, Patricia. Anytime. You've been my follower for so long. It's wonderful to always have you around. Any more questions? Just think of anything you want to ask me about what I'm feeling, what I've thought about. Besides the things, sometimes you hear experts, but then you don't hear lay people like you and me, how we are feeling with it. Sometimes a doctor, which is great, gives you, you have a few of these doctors that are giving you great advice about allulose, but then to get first hand information is when you actually try it on yourself. Okay, let me think of any other little things. Like, I'm good to go. It's 8:16 now. I do sleep late at night. I have no hunger, zero, zero. I have no urge to eat anything sweet whatsoever. I don't know what this magic thing is. Though allulose is a sweetener, and I've had a glass full with 30 grams of allulose in it, but I don't have the urge to. I've made brownies with allulose, but I'm not getting the urge to eat them after I've had that one glass of lemonade in the morning. What else? I am not getting the urge. I I mean, I'm going to tell you about my weight loss also. I'm at a particular weight. I want to lose about 4 5 kilos. I've managed in 5 6 days. I've lost about 2.5 kilos, but I'm going on and on, and I'm not going to stop on allulose. I am side by side listening to a lot about its safety, whether it's safe, and with the amount of research I've done on it now, I can, as a layman, just as a keto low carb recipe creator and not being a doctor, I can tell you it's completely safe. There is nothing. Okay, here's another thing. Any other question? Thanks for all your efforts to get us and keep us. Welcome, Derek. I've just ordered some. Great. Please let me know. I'm going to post this video. Please let me know in the comments how it's affected you. It's people like you and me, when we try it, that we can. I mean, Gauri, this is a game changer. This is not like any other sweetener. Every other sweetener has a glycemic load on your body. This has zero. This helps for people with uric acid, is what I've learned. This also helps because, okay, you'll hear Nick Norwitz say this. This is nature's Ozempic. Now, I had researched a lot about Ozempic. Obviously, I was never going to take it. I'm too scared to inject myself for weight loss in any form. I mean, good luck to the people who've done it and are able to lose weight, but I can't do that to myself. I'm a bit scared of injections. So, When I was researching Ozempic, I kept reading that it's very different. The feeling is like you get full, you get full. I said, okay, so what's the big deal? I also got full when I was eating keto. What is it that's different when people are injecting themselves with Ozempic? A lot of people say that they get their hunger, no cravings, no all that. I said, okay, even that happened with keto. So what's the big deal about Ozempic again? That's different from eating a high fat diet. But I have noticed, I'm going to read more of your questions. Just keep typing them in. I'm so happy to answer anything that I'm going through. But I have never had an ingredient like this in my entire life, being keto low carb. By the way, let me tell you all, I'm excited to tell you that there are people that are having allulose with eating normal carbs. They're eating their carbs and yet having the lemon, no, not the lemon. By the way, the lemonade is my invention in the sense I'm having allulose in this way. People are having it in many other forms. Some people are just popping a brownie that's made with allulose. So what was I saying? Oh my God, I'm so excited to share all this with you that I'm losing track. Yeah, so this is something that is so different. I have not felt like this in 7 years. There is not, like I said, when you are low fat, it is now that I've decided I'm not going to eat as much fat because too much fat worked for me till a certain point. Let me just get a little more comfortable. What was I saying? Yeah, the high fat was working for me beautifully when I started the keto low carb journey. But now I can't lie to myself anymore by saying that it's still working because it's not working. I noticed my weight creeping up again. It stayed down for about 2, 3 years. And then slowly, I said, even though I'm eating exactly what I've always eaten, I, I could feel the weight creeping back on. So nothing has helped me in the last 2 years for my weight to even budge 2 pounds. I would lose 2, 3 pounds, I would gain it back. Eating exactly the same and eating healthy. Now, when um, uh, now when I've cut out the fat, I was pretty sure that I'm going to get a major feeling of hunger because the fat is what was keeping us satiated when doing low carb keto. But I have noticed I am low fat. I am making my lunch if I'm eating in maximum 1 tablespoon of a good fat like ghee, butter, or olive oil, and my dinner was being made again in just 1 tablespoon. So I was consuming about 200 to 250 calories in fats, while earlier I used to munch on a stick of butter. But that's not working for me anymore. So I'm not going to be pulling out such high fat recipes anymore because I know it's not going to work for you either anymore. If it's working for some of you, well, I wish you all the best and all the success on your journey. Okay, let me see any more questions. Are you buying powdered allulose? If yes, what brand? I don't really go for any brand. By the way, let me tell you, for me to get allulose is very difficult. I live between two countries, India and the United London. So because of that, it's impossible for me to get allulose. So for me, allulose is something that my son brings back for me from the US. I don't even get it. So I have actually got 2, 3 packets and I'm getting trouble that it's going to get over. So right now I'm using this big black bag. I don't know the name of the brand. There's another one, I think there's Anthony's. I've got 1 packet of that. There's another one called It's Just an Allulose. They also say the way a lot of people don't want to use allulose because of the way it's made. It's supposed to have something to do with corn, but the more I've researched it, I've realized it's not to do with corn, but the covering of the corn, right? So don't if you get anything negative on the internet about that it's made out of corn and all, don't get taken in by that. I mean, research it to the best of your understanding, but I've really gone deep into it now. Okay, so does Raquel Mercado, hi. You're saying I've been using monk fruit. Does allulose have an after? Allulose has no aftertaste whatsoever. That is one of the main things they're talking about on the internet. And now I've tasted it and I've been having it for quite a while now, but I was not conscious of what it was doing to me. Last 6 7 days, my journey with this is so specific that now I'm noticing every little bit about it. It has zero aftertaste. You do know erythritol has the cooling effect. This does not. You do know that monk fruit also I've used, and you know stevia has a bit of a aftertaste, a bitter aftertaste. The research that I've done, and of course I've eaten allulose myself, it is seven. Do you know allulose is also not artificial? It's natural. So it is also available, I mean, it's also found in figs and dates, but a very small percentage. So because it is completely natural, it's got nothing to do with the usual artificial sweeteners. So it's actually good for your body. And it's a very strange kind of a fructose which does not get assimilated in your intestine. It just passes right through. I would suggest to some of you that if you are going to do this experiment with allulose, to please have some kind of electrolytes. I don't know, I'm not finding the need for it till now, but I think in another few days I will. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a sugar-free electrolyte into a glass and add allulose to it and drink it instead of the lemonade. That's another way to have it. Okay, what else? Gonna do it in your lemonade. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a shot. Be conscious of what you're feeling after you drink it. Try to have it an hour and a half before your meal. Try to have it, well, you should be kind of empty stomach. I had a coffee and then I had it a little later. So you will know how it's affecting you once you have the lemonade. You will get conscious about how in an hour suddenly the signals change. You start feeling full. Please give me feedback in my comments. I'm taking the trouble to carry on making these videos just to share my experience. But if I get your experience also, then we can together take this up to another level. And I'm creating a lot of recipes with allulose. Okay, I've been drinking lemon water plain to help dissolve kidney stones. I buy a bunch of lemons and use a lemon squeezer to get the juice out and put it through a mesh strainer and then freeze the that's the end of it. I didn't hear. Okay, so Patricia, just do that, but you're not going to need so many lemons because you're going to have it in one time, just like how get the right amount of lemon in it that you like. So whether it's one lemon or two lemons, squeeze it in. Yeah. You're saying, Derek, you're saying Swerve makes a good brand. Swerve, I think, is more well known for erythritol. I'm really not too sure about allulose. Maybe you would know better. You're probably in the US and you know that Swerve also makes allulose. But I know Swerve for erythritol. Uh, okay, you carried on. Thank you so much for the knowledge. I'm going to try it. Yeah, please do. And let me know. I think I've made quite a long video, but I'm so excited. I'm going to again probably see you in the next 3 4 days and give you another update. Please do look in. because if I feel uncomfortable at any point, I want you to see the video, and if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to stop taking it. So there is no such rule that I'm getting all gung-ho. I am gung-ho. I'm noticing my body. I'm noticing the changes. But if I feel anything negative, I'm going to come and tell you about that too. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you in my next video. I'm on the allulose trip, as they call it. And let me think if I missed out anything. Ah, yeah, I made my marshmallows. It's water, beef gelatin, and allulose. And I made a whole tray of it. I have an original recipe for marshmallows, and that has the entire tray has 20 calories. 20 to 30 calories, I think even less than that. You can eat the whole tray, but the problem is it's like a vicious circle because there were so many pieces. I thought I'd eat the whole tray because that much of allulose is in it, but I couldn't eat it because I'd had the lemon water. So my hunger had stopped, so I couldn't have the so much of the marshmallows. So I'm going to make myself marshmallows right now. I should do a little cooking demo of making the allulose marshmallows. Maybe I can do that on another live video. You can quickly see me making it and putting it into a tray. And in 20 minutes, it's ready. And you can, with no calories, you can have it in the morning with your coffee. You can have it at night before you sleep if you want, because it's no calories and allulose. Yeah, another very important thing for anyone that's diabetic or pre-diabetic, I don't think the if you are majorly diabetic, I don't know the effects, but if you are pre-diabetic or just about diabetic, the moment you'll have allulose, if you have a CGM, I don't, but I have the keto mojo. If you prick your finger and half an hour before, then you have your lemonade water made with allulose, and then you prick your finger again 1 hour later, you will see that your glucose levels have dropped from whatever is your original number. So it's insane because I'm having 30 grams of allulose in one shot. If it had any load on my glycemic index, it would have shot up. Oh, another good resource I can tell you is there's a chap on the internet. I don't know his name, but I know he's called insulin resistant. That's what he's called. That it's his. It pops up on Facebook sometimes and on YouTube as shorts. And he tries to experiment with all kinds of food and puts a CGM on his arm and he tells you how it's working. He's done it for allulose and it was completely flatline. Nothing. Not a split second of effect on it. Before I round up, let me think if I can think of anything else that can help you guys. Please ask me anything. Oh, yeah. Please, I'm very specific about this. On day one, when I took it, I saw to it. Now, if you're going to get scared with the little bit of bloating that happens, and on day one, I was on the toilet for 20 times. I got so scared that I said I'll never touch allulose again. But what I did notice is that even though I was going to the toilet so many times, I had no hunger. So I put myself through this strange phenomena which I would have never done in the past, because if something had given me so many loosies, I would have said, no, this ain't for me. Next day, I went back and had it. I decreased the dose slightly and I had it. And now, after 5-6 days, my body has adapted to it. I get a little, I'm going to be honest, I get a little bit of bloating and I get a bit of gas. I hope there are not too many men listening, but that's how it is. But your body adapts to allulose. So if you're going to get scared on day one, then you need to figure that out for yourself whether it works for you or not. But I took the risk of trying it again the next day. And boy, oh boy, did it work. I am in ninth heaven right now. I just cannot express what I'm feeling. I cannot believe there is a sweetener which tastes so good, with which I can bake with and drink stuff and eat stuff, and it's amazing. Yeah, last thing. I have not tried this sweetener along with the fat because I'm not getting the urge to eat fatty food anymore. So I don't know, like let's say I take a bowl of whipping cream and I whip it up with allulose and I just eat that. Because I've left having too high fat, I'm not given this a shot, but this will be another experiment of mine to see what happens if I add something fatty. Let's say the brownies. I made some brownies. I should have carried the tray and shown you the brownies I made with allulose. That has butter in it. I've actually made it for my son who's arriving tomorrow. So with that, I wonder how I'll probably have no hunger whatsoever, because with the addition of fat and the allulose, I can probably have two brownies and never eat another meal for the next 36 hours. That's my assumption. I haven't tried it as yet, but let's see how it goes. Though I did hear Dr. Ben Bickman say that his go to is a keto brownie made with allulose. And he said he has it every day and it's a staple in his house. So look at some of these videos. I'm here. I would love to link all these great people who've found this miracle ingredient, and I just chanced upon it, and now I am here to spread it and tell you all about it. So lovely. Thank you. Bye. I better zip. It's ridiculous. I've been on live for so long. I've been live for 36 minutes. Oh my goodness. The longest video I've probably ever done in my life. Bye. See ya. Good night. See you in my next video.